Welcome to the Sage Thought Leadership Podcast, transforming the way people think and work so their organizations can thrive. Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. I'm Ed Kless, and with me today is Kevin Snow. Kevin is a sales expert and a serious technology geek who knows how to help his clients take their automation game to the next level and is challenging the game of business development. With a 20-year career working with brands like Frontier Communications, Nextel, Salesforce, and B&I, his knowledge, skills, and understanding of communication and technology are getting results for the business with whom he works. Kevin knows how to integrate digital technology with your sales process in an authentic, professional way, and he'll show you what you've been missing in terms of ensuring an effective system of outreach and trust building. Welcome to the Sage Thought Leadership Podcast, Kevin Snow.
Cool. Thanks for having me, Ed. I'm really excited to be here.
Well, first off, Kevin, why do you do what you do?
Well, what I do, it's kind of been an evolution for me. I actually started out doing public speaking and training as was really my focus because I love just working with people and seeing the lights go on in their eyes and like, oh, I got it. Now I understand, which was really awesome. But I had a deployment in my world. And I came back and I had literally 0 speaking gigs on the calendar and nothing in my pipeline. I'm like, oh crap, now what do I do? And I actually redid my business into consulting and was focused on, helping people actually go out and launch sales teams and figure out how do we hire, how do we train them, how do we do the selling stuff. And over time, I kept niching down and I found that the big thing that my clients needed was that sales process and figuring out how do we sell, how do our clients buy, and then how do we use the technology to do more without hiring a bunch of people. And I love the technology thing. So it just really felt fit in really well with my personality and my interests. And it's a lot of fun because I'm helping people learn how to be better at something that they love to do. And that's whatever their genius zone is that they're now building a business around.
Well, let's drill down a little bit on that. What is your advice for a business owner who's really juggling that sales role with the running of the business?
That is the biggest issue for all small businesses as they're growing is that the business owners wearing all these different hats. They have to be finance, they have to be HR, then they're director of sales and their operations, and they have to keep these all up in the air. It's like that old variety show game where they put all the plates on the sticks and the guy's running around and spinning them and one starts wobbling, he has to run over there and start spinning them. That's literally what owning a small business is like these days. So it's really about understanding what I work with my clients on is helping them understand all the tasks that we can get rid of and we can use technology or we can outsource to a low-cost VA or someone to get off their plate that allow them more time to do the client-facing activities, the really important stuff in the sales process. And then that also frees up time for them to do the other business owner stuff, looking at the finances and those reports, working operational process improvement, all that type of stuff. And then the other thing that we need to do is, you got a time block. You have calendars. You have to set aside time for the sales, the business development activities. Because for some reason, that's always the one that disappears from the calendar. It's like, oh, I got to take care of this client thing. Oh, another day without doing any prospecting or adding anything in the pipe drive or in the pipeline. And without adding stuff to your pipeline, your business is going to die. You have to consistently add those new prospects so that you have new revenue coming in.
So talk to me a little bit about in your world where you've been working with that business owner who is also the lead salesperson. How do you help them discern whether or not they should go get some business help first, so help running the business, or whether they should help getting that sales help first?
That really depends, I think, on the type of company it is. I always will look at capacity. Can they bring on more clients and still provide really good competition, really good service and execution to those new clients. But at the same time, me and my business partner, we both believe in this, let's go break stuff. in our business. And we will, we're always trying to push the edge and push the limits of what we can do to figure out where the weak spots are so that we can then go fix them and make them better and actually continue improving our processes. So it's kind of that fine balancing act of you need to be able to support them, and you can't totally overwhelm your system by bringing in a bunch of clients, but you want to push that system enough that you figure out where it breaks. And so that you can actually fix them. Otherwise, you're never going to be able to scale. If you keep your processes static, oh, we love how it's going now, you're going to keep the status quo for sales as well.
What's one of the big mistakes that you see someone who is not really up on the sales side, who's a business owner, make on the sales side?
They don't understand what they're going out and doing, and they because they haven't taken time to pay attention to their clients and how their clients are making those the business decisions and the purchasing decisions, they're usually just jumping in and pitching. I know when I started Time on Target, my sales calls were horrible, and I was already a really good salesperson. At least I thought I was, but I hadn't taken the time to figure out, what decisions my clients were making when they were buying a sales consultant. And so I was just going in and pitching. I was literally talking about all the cool stuff we could do. So doing the features and benefits thing and not really understanding what they needed, and then crafting a solution that fit their needs is going to give them the results they wanted. And I think that happens a lot with especially new businesses that are trying to figure out, hey, what am I actually selling? What is my actual product? They go out and do a bunch of stuff, but then they really don't document, all right, so here's how it worked, and here's what didn't work, and here's how what we're going to do going forward.
Yeah, it's funny. Peter Drucker had some great advice. He said, it sounds so cliche too, but he says, sell what your customers buy. But it's amazing how oftentimes businesses don't actually do that.
Sell them what they want and then give them what they need. That's what we tell a lot of our clients is, figure out what they want and how that fits with your product, but then be able to provide what they really need and what you've discovered during your qualification period, and give them those bonus results and those really cool things that they weren't expecting from your product. That's going to keep them that raving fan and get them to start referring you.
And Kevin, we've got an exit question that we ask all of our guests, and that is, who is a hero of yours and why are they a hero? I've never been the person who had like the poster of anyone on their wall or is like, oh, they're my hero. I've had, as a member of the military, I've had the pleasure of serving with some really awesome people that have done some really amazing things that, most people can't comprehend what they've done. And, being able to stand next to them on a daily basis, I think that, they're always going to be at the top of my list, or the people I have the most respect for and look up to, because I know what they've done and the impact of their sacrifices on our country and on our communities. So I'm going to take the easy out and say the military, the people I serve with. And lastly, Kevin, how can somebody contact you?
So a lot of people give out emails and websites and all that stuff. I'm actually going to make it real easy. If your listeners text the word sell smarter to 612-429-4298, I'm going to send them a list of questions that they can use to help map out their client's buying process, and a guide to what content they should use at each stage of the game, so they can make sure they're giving their prospects the right information at the right time.
All right. Outstanding. Kevin Snow, thanks so much for being a guest on the Sage Thought Leadership Podcast.
Cool. Thanks a lot for having me, Ed. It was awesome.
Review and subscribe by searching your podcast player of choice for Sage Thought Leadership Podcast.